how difficult is it to play caller when your defense has been out there for so long to run some time off the clock, but also still get a couple first downs?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not thinking about running time off the clock. You're really thinking about just doing your job and staying on the field, and then when the opportunity presents itself, taking shots and putting the pressure back on them. And unfortunately for us, we had a stretch there where we had some mental mistakes that cost us, especially on third down, and they really stopped the drives. And it was unfortunate timing, and we had a chance to put them away, and we didn't do our part.
You were a little more pass-oriented in the first half this last game. Was that because of Jacksonville, or you think with Flacco and Sanders and Sutton got to loosen it up a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, I think like each game, you have to attack it the best way you can. I think that in our home stadium, the style of play, the way they play, I think it lent to us being able to push the ball down the field tactically that didn't put you at risk for negative plays. And I also felt, it was a big deal when Ramsey didn't play. That affected the game a lot, and it affects you as a play caller, and you have to think about those things. And so it also allowed us to do some different stuff we probably couldn't have been able to do.
You guys have been successful in up-tempo in 2-minute drills and multiple games. There's a way to sprinkle that in without losing some of the identity you want for this offense?
Yeah, no. I wish you could. You can do some tempo, but the reality of it is like you just don't have the depth and bodies to go fast all the time. And that's, like you said, you want to keep your defense off the field. It's just different than college football where you got 85 guys. We're shooting up really 4 wideouts. One of them gets hurt or gets tired. You just don't have the depth to do those things. So, yeah, you want to use tempo. You want to apply pressure where you can to the defense, but you got to be smart how you approach that. But I do feel we've been very efficient in 2 minute. I think our system is they're growing together, and that's a good thing. Under the gun, they've had some successful drives, and we hope to continue that.
The more that the season progresses, the more and more praise for Dalton Reisner from guys up and down on this roster and the coaching staff.
Yeah.
What, in your mind, separates him as a strong offensive lineman?
He's got the physical abilities. He's very intuitive. He's just got a great feel for the game. I said this before in our offense, the guards are required to be quick processors after the snap. We put a lot on them. He is elite in that way, in my opinion. He has that mental capacity to play fast amongst chaos and be composed. And that's really what allows him to really excel at an early age. And, he's got a lot of upside, and we'll see where we can take him, but he's doing a great job.
Rich, on the quarter pole here, can you kind of assess Joe Flacco's play? Is he giving you the kind of play that you thought he'd give you to this point, or do you think that there's more that you kind of expected to get out of him to this point?
I think Joe's done a great job. It's not perfect by any stretch, and in every game there's been 3 or 4 plays that you'd love to have back. It's been a combination of things that we haven't gotten the points and the wins we want. But again, it's a lot of young players. It's our first time together. He's learning me, and we're learning each other. The way I see it and the way I've approached it, and I think we've talked about that as a group, is, from day one, every day you're together, the goal is to get better and ascend. And I think the longer you're together, the longer your players play together, they know the system, there's recall, especially the quarterback, you should ascend as a player and as a group. And that's the goal. It may not happen perfectly, but I feel we're trending that way, and that's the ultimate outcome we want in the long run.
Deontay's
Kind of a good example of the athleticism you were hoping to get when you drafted him.
Yeah, and you saw when he opened it up, just, most guys would have been tackled probably for a 10-yard gain, and you'd have to earn it the rest of the way in the end zone. Instead, you score from the edge of the red zone and you get the touchdown. That's what game changers do in this league. It's what makes you a better play caller, a better offense, a better team, and it's exciting to see that, and he's going to continue to develop, and we'll try and use him in those ways.
How did you feel about your O-line, especially giving up no sacks to that defense?
I felt great, and again, it was a combination of things. They did a great job up front, and I think Joe avoided 3 sacks in that game on his own. He took a shot where he was hot on a play that most quarterbacks would not have seen, and definitely would not have avoided the sack there. So I think that it's a combination of all of them. They played better up front. The backs did a nice job in protection. Joe was mindful when he needed to be about not taking sacks, and that's a delicate balance. And the more he's in the offense, the more he's capable of doing that too. And I think all of it added up to us having better protection overall. Yeah, I mean, that's, you have to be creative when a guy's out like he is, whether it's in the meetings, on his own, there's technology that we use, there's we call it striver technology. There's different things we use in the building that those guys do that we did in San Francisco that really any backup has to do. I mean, if you really watch out here in practice, the backup hasn't gotten a rep in practice in 3 weeks. You just don't in the NFL. And if Drew was here, he'd have to learn visually and through Joe and through the film, and then on his own finding ways to do that by, mentally taking reps and being creative with how he can be better at what he needs to get better at. I think he's done a good job of that, and we've had a plan all along to do that, and we're executing it.
Sorry. We got
Yeah.
a taste of Deontay Spencer
Mhm.
offense. Is that the plan, maybe a secret weapon, not so secret weapon now? Or do you think he could do a little bit more in the receiving game?
Yeah, I mean, that's the goal. I mean, we're going to have to. I mean, he's the fifth guy suited up. He's a dynamic returner, and that's why he's here. But he came here week one, and to learn this offense and not get the reps in practice that you'd like is very difficult. So, yeah, little by little, we've been able to up his volume, and I think you saw that last week. And he's definitely got an explosive ability and skill set, and we continue to use that best we can.
Time for a few more, guys.
What have you seen from the Chargers defensively?
I have a great deal of respect for Gus Bradley, what he's done in this league, his defenses, going against a similar style with in San Francisco with one of his assistants. It's very sound. It's a sound scheme. It's an 8-man front scheme. They know their rules. They have one of the elite pass rushers in this league. They have a very underrated corner that I've had a lot of respect for going against him in the past. I think that they just know their rules. They know their defense. They're going to do what they do. They're going to play hard. They're going to play sound, and they're going to make you earn everything.
Royce was more productive than Phillip in the passing game this last week. Is that how you envision those guys moving forward, or is that just how the game fell?
There are some things that are up for each guy, but in the end, it's the flow of the game. Sometimes it goes that way, and I think Royce has proven to be a very valuable receiver, probably more so than I thought when I got here, and that most people have thought. He's very instinctive, got great hands, and the quarterbacks can feel him on routes, and they like him. So, you bounce that with Phillip's skill set, you got two dynamic players.
Rich, what do you like? Last one here, lady.
Yeah, go ahead.
What do you like about using them together?
Same thing, you always want to put defenses, you want to dictate the terms of the defense how you play the game. And when you put them both out on the field, they have to choose whether to play in nickel or in base defense. And then you have to attack them accordingly. And I think in the first play of the game when they were in there, they were in base defense and we ran a pass and it was an explosive play. And the second time they were nickel, we ran a run that was a very good run. So you're always trying to balance those things. And the combination of those two guys with Andy coming back, I think what has really – that package and now having the fullback back has really helped the offense.
Would you use all three again?
Absolutely, if that's the best way to get after them. So for sure, yeah. Good question.
Thank you, Rich.
Thanks.